What's going on, y'all? So, we are officially less than 24 hours away from the launch of Blade and Soul Neo. And with that being said, more information has come out, and we found out that this game is not going to be controller compatible. So, that turned a lot of people off from wanting to play the game. They've never played the game before. But, don't worry, I got a solution for you. So, you can play Blade and Soul with a controller. Now, I made this video the other day on this topic, but I felt like I wasn't thorough enough with it. I could have did more and shown more. So I'm gonna do better. We're gonna do better. So I'm gonna show you guys how you can take any controller. It doesn't have to be an Xbox controller. It can be PlayStation. Ew, why would you? Or if you got a PC controller, anything that plugs into your computer that your computer recognizes as a controller, you can use. And I'm gonna show you an easy way how. So we're going to want to navigate to this website here. I will leave the link in the description. But yes, you're basically going to come here and download a program called XPadder. And what XPadder is going to do is it's going to make your computer think that this is a keyboard. So any controller you got, it's going to make your computer think it's a keyboard, and you're going to be able to bind any button on your keyboard to your controller. So jump, you can make spacebar. This can be your mouse used for your camera. This can be WASD for movement. And I'm going to show you how. It's super easy, super simple to use. And there's no installation required. So you're going to click here on download now. Forget the ad here. And then it's going to take you here, and it's going to start downloading right away for you. So you're going to open it up, pull that over here. You're going to take this folder here, you're going to drag it to your desktop. I've already done it, so I don't need to do it, but just take it and drag it over to your desktop. Then open the folder, and you're going to see XPadder EXE. You're going to click on that. I already have it on my computer, so I'm going to go XPAD. So there's XPadder, bam, and you're going to get this screen here. So what you're going to do from there is you're going to come to here, and you're going to hit new, and this is going to pop up. And this is where you're going to activate all your buttons on your controller. So with that being said, any controller, like I said, will work as long as your computer knows that it's a controller. The more buttons on your controller, the better. I play Force Master on Blade and Soul, so for me, with all the things that I need for a Force Master, Xbox 360 happens to have exactly the amount of buttons I need to use a Force Master. So you're not going to get every single thing out of your controller. Meaning, the reason that Blade and Soul isn't really compatible is because there's a lot more that your keyboard can do than your controller. But what you're going to do, what the main function of your controller is going to be for movement and combat. So you're going to be able to move around, jump around, explore the world, pick items up, run, jump, attack. Everything that involves movement and gameplay will work on your controller, and then you just use your keyboard for the rest of the stuff. So you want to access your inventory, just use your keyboard. If you want to open up your options menu, just use your keyboard. So anything, like I said, involving movement and combat and gameplay, you just use a controller for that. So with that being said, when you got this item here, you're going to see a thing called image. So you can download an image for this. So like, let's say the Xbox here, the Xbox controller, you can get a picture of your Xbox or your PlayStation, whatever you got, and you can set it up here and then just put your buttons in front of it just so you understand what the layout is. But you can just do it without it, so I'm going to show you. So we're going to skip images because I'm not going through that. Sticks. So your analog sticks, you're going to come here to enable your left one, and you're going to get prompts to lift it up. So up and then to the left, and as you can see, it's detecting my analog. So then you're going to go over here and click the right one, and you're going to get the same thing. I want you to push it left, so left and then up, and now it's detecting my other analog. So from there, we're going to go to our D-pad. We're going to hit enable, and it's just going to go up, down, left, and right. And there's our D-pad. So from this point, I like to start setting up the button layout like my controller. So with the Xbox, your left analog stick's here, your right one's here, your D-pad's usually just underneath. And ew, PlayStation, like, this is so comfortable. How the hell do you guys play like this? How do you have your two analog sticks that close together? Like I can't do that. It's so weird. Like I couldn't do that. Like having my thumbs so close together. Like having one thumb up and above the other one is so much more comfortable. Like every time I see a PlayStation controller, I'm not hating on PlayStation, but I mean fuck PlayStation. But like I hate the two analog sticks. When I go to my buddy's house, some of them got PlayStations. I try to play. I'm like, this is fucking disgusting. I don't like it. So anyways, that's why Xbox is so cool, because we different. But yeah, so I like to follow the layout. That's my little rant. So yeah, like I said, analog sticks here. D-pad's just kind of underneath and to the right. Your other analog sticks here. And now we're going to start activating all the buttons on your controller. So watch. I'm going to hit the A button and it just popped up. So here, bring this down more, bring that down more. So the A button is usually just over here. Then our X button. Sorry, I don't got that in the camera there. So our X button, our Y button, and then our B button. Or for you PlayStation people, triangle, X, circle, square. Gross. Gross. So then our start button, boonk. And then our select or back button, boonk. Now for the Xbox 360, the computer doesn't recognize us as like an actual controller button. It's like more of a functionality for like Steam and stuff. There's a program you can use to get your computer to think this is just a regular button, but I don't go through all that. That's just one button I don't need. So then our bumper button up here. We'll bring that over here because that's up here. Wait, sorry. I'm getting them mixed up. You go over there. You go over there. Let's bring this down just a little bit. So there's our bumpers up top. So I think that's all of our buttons covered. Those, start, select, bumpers, D-pads, this. And so now we'll do our triggers. You triggered my trap card. Enable. Left trigger, bam. Right trigger, bam. So there. So now we have all our buttons available on our controller for use. Now comes the easy and fun part. You'll notice. What the? Get back here. So you will notice now that we have this. And you can see it's still getting all our inputs. So I'm going to go over just the main functions for this. Just movement and camera. I'll leave it up to you guys to decide what buttons you want to use for attack, jump, whatnot. But just so you know what the actual keys look like for this. Oops. Actually, you know what? We missed a button. Let's go back. I forgot about that. Hold on. Where did you go? Okay, so I forgot to click in. So let's go back to our buttons. Boop. So there's our, I just stick that like right there because that's our analog. And that's our other one. Bam. So we know that that's our push in button for our analogs. Can't believe I almost forgot that. Okay, so first we'll work on camera movement. So for your right analog stick, we're going to click on here, and then your keyboard is going to pop up. And these are the buttons you're going to use to bind. So for like your mouse's movement, these furthest out arrows are your direction like of movement. So we want the top one for that, top one for bottom one for that, and for this. Now, for your clicking, so your right analog stick is basically your analog stick pushing buttons will be your mouse clicking buttons. So I like to use my right analog stick as my left click, and I'm going to show you why in a sec. So we're going to click on this, and these are your mouse buttons. So this is your left, and this is your middle or your mouse wheel button, and then your right. So we're going to click the left one, and then for our select button or back, I always make that Alt. And I'm going to explain to you why you want to use this as Alt and your thumbstick as your left click. So in Blade and Soul, when you hit the Alt button, it turns your camera off and allows you to take control of your mouse cursor. And that's what this is going to do. So you don't have to take your hands off your controller to do other things in the game, like talk to NPCs and whatnot, and pick items up. You would hold your Alt button in game, which would bring your mouse cursor up, and then you'd use your right analog stick as your mouse. As you can see, my mouse is moving around, and then you would click it in. See that? I clicked on the picture in the background and it brought that up. So you'll use that to click and hold to pick stuff up and things like that. That's pretty much the only utility I use for the controller. Now, like I said, if you have a controller that has more buttons, then you get more utility options depending on how many buttons you have. But so we've gone over camera movement, which is most important. Now that the program realizes that this is the mouse, if you click on the thing here, the options menu here, you can go to mouse settings, and then from here you can mess with your sensitivity on how quick you want your mouse to move up and side to side. So you can mess with the sensitivity on how fast you want your mouse cursor to move, and it would also affect how fast your camera is going to move. So from here, we're going to work on movement now for our left analog stick, and that's pretty basic. W, A, S, and Z. So now you've got your movement. So now we can run around, we can move our camera. If we hold Alt, oh, forget that, just trying to make noise. We can hold our Alt button and then use our mouse to click in on stuff. So that's the basics. That's what you want. Then that means the rest is up to you guys. So, you know, do you want this to be an attack? What attack do you want here? What skill do you want here and here and here and here? And all that good stuff. D-pad, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna Blade and Soul Neo is not out yet, so I can't demonstrate it working on Blade and Soul Neo, but I can show you on Blade and Soul that we have currently, because I've actually made this video before about 7 years ago for Blade and Soul when it first came out to NA. So I'll show you guys how that works. And also to take note, if you open this program up and it doesn't work on the game, try closing it and running it as administrator. Sometimes you need to run this as administrator. And so let's say there's other games, because this will work for other games that don't support controllers. This will work for it. It's a keyboard, so you got different profiles here. So like if you use more than one class, this number 1 here, you can have your buttons labeled for Force Master. Your next one can be for Blade Master, so you may not have the same button layouts for Blade Masters, and so on and so forth. And you've got up to 8 options. What else can I say? I'll probably think of some stuff, but I'll show you a video of how it works in practice. And yeah. So here's an old video here, and this is actually, if you're going to be a Force Master, this is the button layout I have for Force Master. So if you guys are interested in playing Force Master, just copy this to your thing here and see how that works for you. But
so basically, I have this set up for how I'm comfortable with using my skills, and as you
God damn, I sound like a 4-year-old in this. But let's go to where I show it off.
Okay, so once you've got your program here configured the way you want, I'll show you guys how it works in game now. And just so you guys know, this may not work for other classes, like the layout that I have, other than your movements. For your movements, you always want W, A, D.
Okay, Chow, we've already heard this part. Let's see you play.
I've never had any issues with this program. So let's zoom out of here, and I'll actually do some comments.
I was on Windows 8.
How responsive it is, and
see?
I've never had any issues with this program not working properly.
Look at the numbers from back then.
One thing that may come about if you're using Windows 8 or up, which I'd say pretty much most of you are, what may happen is with this game, with this program, there's no install really for this game or program. You just click on the icon and it sets up right away. But what may happen is it may say that this program can't run for Windows 8 or 10, like it might not be compatible. For any reason, if it says that, don't panic. There's a real simple fix for that, and you don't even have to go anywhere. Basically what you do is before you open up this program, right click on the icon, and there should be an option that says run compatibility mode or something like that, something that has to do with compatibility. Just click that, and then it should work fine. Should run. What it'll do is, if let's say this thing doesn't, I'm not sure what current version is out right now, but let's say that version only works for Windows 7 as an example. What it'll do is, if you're using Windows 8 or Windows 10, is it'll sort of make it makes it work so it thinks that you're using Windows 7.
Yeah. And so there you go. You guys see that in practice. That's how it will work. And you can see it's pretty responsive. And other than that, I don't really know if there's anything else left to say. Oh, a question I actually got on my one of my comments for this video I made the other day is, will Blade and Soul's cheat detection pick this up as like a cheat? Like, will the anti-cheat pick this up? No. The executable doesn't attach itself to the game. It doesn't attach itself to Blade and Soul. It just attaches itself to a controller, but it's a controller, so it's not going to pick anti-cheat's not going to pick this up. I've used this on a lot of other games that have really tough anti-cheats like Denuvo, and it doesn't do anything. So I've used this for 5 years straight on Blade and Soul when it first came out. So no issues I've ever had. I can't see anti-cheat picking this up because the executable doesn't attach itself to anything in Blade and Soul, and it just makes your controller operate as a keyboard. So other than that, guys, hopefully this works for you guys. I don't know how the operating system is going to work for Blade and Soul Neo. I tried to use this on Unreal Engine 4 update. It worked, so I can't see why it won't work on this either. But hopefully this gives you guys some hope for the players that don't like using keyboard and were kind of like, I don't want to play Blade and Soul now if I can't use a keyboard then. So hope to see you guys in game. We've got less than 24 hours. Can't wait. So I'll see you guys on Blade and Soul. Peace.